Hi everyone, I hope you're doing good and you're going to have a wonderful day. I'm starting my morning off in the sauna. I've had a few days where I wasn't able to get in the sauna, and so I did last night, and then I woke up at like 5:30 and couldn't sleep, and so I figured what a good time to come in here. I woke up with some things on my mind and haven't sat down to make a video about this yet. A couple of things I want to touch on is just health, and the other thing is pretty soon I'm going to do a video on when we fled to Mexico. And so that video I've kind of put off for a while because it was a very, very traumatic time, and it's been hard to know exactly how to create that video. And so that is coming in the future, as I've mentioned in other videos. So I have revamped my YouTube channel. I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress, but I have tried to add multiple steps that have happened in my life on this journey. It's been a major process to where I am today, and so that's why some of them are out of order. I wasn't sure how I wanted to include them, but I think it's important for people to know it's not always overnight what happens. There's things that happen in our lives, and depending on how maybe blocked off we are, then it could take longer, or life lessons we need to learn, the karma that we have to burn off, all of that stuff. So that is just, I'm hoping that you can see where I'm saying, okay, here's my first step. That was basically going to school and starting to awaken to many things. But I had I was in a completion program before that. I started to get rid of all the plastics, all the antiperspirants, all the non-stick pans in our house, and all of that stuff. In that time of going to school and just awakening to things. And then there's things with my doctor, just different stories that are in there, but it gives you a base of what happened. But I started looking up and seeing the chemtrails, and that was after CPS came in, and just different things that I became aware of. So without boring people, I just wanted to really help you to see that whatever you're going through, you're right on time. And so you awaken right on time, and it is a process. You'll go through many things. Some people, maybe they'll just have something happen to them, because all of our stories are unique. But regardless, we live these lives and things happen to us, and they all come together to bring us to the place that we are this very moment. So here I am in a sauna, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my daughter. And she's almost 18, and right now she experienced an episode where she wasn't feeling well and she passed out. Now, back in 2015, early 2015, about a year to 6 months before we left to Mexico, and someone made a false allegation that she had seizure disorders. She had an episode, and I took her to a naturopath because she experienced kind of the same thing, where you could tell that she was entering into puberty. She was completely imbalanced, and I knew things were going on in her body, and I wanted to go after the cause not put band-aids on the symptoms. And so some people made up some lies and said that I didn't take her into a doctor and I didn't do it immediately and all this stuff, which is completely false. I knew that something was wrong, and I wanted to make sure as a mom that I was protecting her and helping her to go down a path towards healing and wholeness. And so this naturopath is board certified, or was and still is board certified, and saw that, did the blood work and all that. There was no seizures, and so we started down a path of healing naturally with some healing herbs and different things like that. And, trying as much as possible as a mom to help her to eat healthy. I still wasn't knowledgeable in, eating just whole live foods at that time. I thought, for the most part, getting more veggies in and more cooked meals, not just processed foods, was going to help, which it was a big improvement from where I was before. But I didn't fully understand the need to, eat living foods so that we were able to get that information from the food and we could heal at every cell. So, but the herbs were good, but I had people like her father who did not agree with taking those and stuff like that. And then just everyone in my family didn't agree with that type of thing. And so there was a lot of people looking at me going, wow, she's homeschooling her youngest kids now. She's not going to church anymore. She's now kind of staying to herself in areas where before I was much more involved with different people, but I was just seeing the kind of the way that I was trying to question everything and to do things differently. And yes, I saw chemtrails. Yes, jade helm stuff was going on overhead, or that's what they called it. Just different things like that where, I was seeing the injustice going on in the world and how people were having their children, their elderly parents, their houses and land stripped from them, and it was bothering me. And so I didn't know quite how to talk about it. And, when you're starting out, you think, okay, everyone's going to kind of wake up and everyone's going to kind of see this. And so you can try to talk, and no, instead they do. They make you a tinfoil hat and want you to wear it. And I didn't want to wear anything like that, because I think that we have to question and we have to not worry about other people. And though that's still hard, that's what I believe, is that once you start to see it, you can't put it on the back burner. You can't ignore it, especially when you've lived it. So anyways, when she had this episode, they're basically now doing a CAT scan and taking her down the road to probably trying to treat her for something, instead of looking at the cause of what's going on, which of course is an imbalance. And if you go to different doctors who are out there who are in the know, you will see that there is too much acid in the body. And so, I am trying to be as supportive as possible from afar. Her father has let me just email her and her to email me, and that's it. I haven't been able to, talk to my other daughters for almost 3 years now. And so in this, I'm trying to just figure out how to do this. And I had an email to her just saying that, I gave her a video, an informational video, if she was interested, from Dr. Morse about just going into the lymphatic system, the importance of live foods, and information on seizures and what the actual cause is and what we need to do, what she needs to do in order to heal. So she has a choice of going down the path of the treatment of these symptoms, which are showing that there is an underlying problem and issue in her body, or she can go down the path to helleville and healing. And so, I asked her if she was okay the other day, and she's like, well, I don't know, I haven't gone in yet. And I just want to say, it's not up to the tests that these conventional doctors give. It's not up to them to say, oh yes, you're okay, or no, you only have, like in cancer situations and other situations, they like to say, well, you have 2 weeks to live or 1 year to live or whatever. And with seizures, they want to say, well, yeah, you've got to start taking this medicine and this, and taking you down that road to captivity to their pharmaceuticals. And all the while, you can look around and see that people aren't getting well. And I hope that she takes the path. So I just want to say that I hope that she gets to a point where she takes her health into her own hands, and that she starts to question things and research, and that maybe she will see that myself and other people in the world who are taking their power back and becoming their own advocates and healing themselves in ways that are using ancient knowledge and moving forward in life, not being captive to a system that has programmed and conditioned and enslaved us to be dependent upon it, and people who are in white coats and in three-piece suits and white jackets, all these different uniforms and different degrees that people have, credentials, different types of titles to their name. That doesn't mean anything. When you become more conscious, you are able to access knowledge, and there is a growing awakening in health and healing. And so that is what I hope for her. I hope that as she came out of the man-made religions, didn't want anything to do with it, that she will see that spirituality and that we are living souls inside of these bodies, that this is a spiritual walk, and it has nothing to do with religion, but has everything to do with just our physical body, our thoughts, our emotions, and our souls. And our souls have been suppressed in many ways, who we truly are. I had said before, I used a different word, that it's been hidden from us, but I really think suppression is what's going on. Suppression of all the things that we need to be embracing. We need to be awakening. We need to be healing. So I wanted to make this video because this is a hard place for a mom watching from afar, and when others silence you, you have to still speak. And that is where I am today, is that I'm going to keep speaking, and things will happen and will work out in due time. The life lessons that we all have to learn, and hopefully our journeys will help others as we come out of our shells, come out of the closet, take those tinfoil hats off, or maybe wear them with pride and not worry about what others label you as, and just say, okay, if that's how you want to see it, fine. But in reality, there's nothing about being crazy, being a quack, being all these things that people are being labeled as. That is just a tested, tried, and perfected technique to silence the truth. So thank you for just sharing this moment with me and helping me to just work through it. And I hope that you have a blessed day. All right, thanks. Bye-bye. And as you see, I am hot, and I hope that you get out there and open up your lymphatic system and detox and work on your health and healing. And that is, I'm going to do another video soon, because I have been having a struggle in detoxing and just staying on whole live foods. It's like my body's wanting some cooked food, so I think maybe doing a challenge or just having support in this as we all come together to heal would be wonderful, and that's what I'm thinking of. So I will be back again. Shalom.